What's going on, guys? Today we're here to talk about something that almost never happens. I am in the unfortunate and fortunate position of being one of the few photographers that will probably be rating gear after it has already broken. Most photographers will rate something and review it. Right when they get it, they'll get hands-on with it and they'll play with it and say, oh, this is a great product, you should buy this. Some of them will wait a year, some of them 6 months, and then they'll tell you the exact same thing. I want to be the guy who comes in and says, I've had this product for 4 years, I finally wore it out, and here's if I would buy it again. So what we're talking about today is the Peter McKinnon Nomatic 35-liter camera bag. I have run this pack ragged. It has been a constant companion for me through many trips, and so this camera bag has been put through an absolute ringer. This bag effectively acts as almost like a body armor around my gear. I rely on this bag to be water resistant, to take an impact, to handle airline travel, although I will never check a camera bag for as long as I live, as much as I can avoid it. I needed a bag I could trust. There's so many different options out there, whether it's the Protactic, some of the other different think tank stuff is really great. I know that there's a lot of options out there, and when you're looking at gear to buy, there's a lot of options. It gets overwhelming, and I understand. I was there 4 years ago, and I'm there now, looking at a broken bag and thinking to myself, okay, what were the positives? What should I go over? What should I think about doing differently? So the thing that broke on this camera bag is not anything significant. The strap did not fall off, as funny as that would have been for the content. The zipper actually failed, and it's just this little tiny piece right here. It fell apart. I'm actually not entirely sure. I think it's just the little tiny bit of stitching inside the edge there that came apart off this little zipper, and that ended up derailing things and making it so you could not close this bag. There's a lot of awesome features with this bag. I won't go over them all, but the really short basis of it is it has the main body cavity on the bag. So you got your main body, telephoto lens, couple lenses, backup body, drone, whatever you want in the top part there. There's also extra, I think there were extra separators at one point. Don't know where those are. But then you have the whole thing, an iPad sleeve, which I don't think I ever used for an iPad except for maybe once. It has a laptop section on the back here, which I will say as a benefit to this bag, and one of the many reasons I did love it for what I do, which is traveling to shoot content. This bag had so much room for laptop stuff. It was so easy. It's nice and soft in here, so you don't have to worry about it. This bag made it so easy to get your laptop out at TSA. That was one thing I always appreciated about it. And to top that off, I also have side access here. So if I needed to get to my camera quickly, the way I had this set up was that I typically could open it quickly. I would have my main body here, whether it was R3 or R5, and then in this slot is my telephoto. So I would typically have a 50 or 35, or 50 or 15 to 35 in this slot, and a 7200 here. So effectively, I would have either a wide, a standard on the main body, and then I'd have a tight telephoto here. So I would have most things that I would need for any kind of photo opportunity in these two slots. I could get to it from here. So that made this very convenient. So this entire side of the bag so far is incredibly convenient. You have a whole back section here that it also expands, so you can do clothing. I shoved clothing, a gimbal in there typically. Back slot, if you're not worried about stuff being stolen, you could have throw your phone, your keys, your wallet in here, whatever, shot list, whatever you need in here. But yeah, overall, great bag in terms of capability and functionality. I do like the back open. I do feel like that does give me some peace of mind in knowing like the only reason this bag is coming open is if I open it, it's not something that somebody's going to get into from the back, which is the case with some camera bags. I will say, everybody always wants to know the cons. So I think that this bag, it does the absolute best it can do when you load it down heavily. I'm typically running this bag around 30 to 55 pounds. It's kind of in that window. It depends on what I'm hauling, what my freight is. And I do think it's big. It's very big. And I would suggest this to not be something that you get as an everyday photographer. If you are just, I would say wedding photographers, it's 50-50. If you're traveling for weddings, this is probably okay. If you're bringing a ton of gear to weddings, probably okay. If you're okay with hauling around this behemoth. It's actually not that big. I'm a little bit exaggerating on that. But it is 35 liters, so that is something to keep into account. If you can get away with pretty minimal kit, I would suggest going with their 20 liter or 25 liter, whatever that McKinnon bag is, or even I think there's one even smaller than that. I would suggest going that, just solely because you don't need to be carrying that much gear for the majority of jobs you will do if it is around you. You need to, par down your kit to what you know you're going to use, and not bring a lot of just in case lenses and just in case this and just in case that. You can cover your bases. That's one thing. Bringing 15 lenses, bringing 6 lenses, bringing 5 lenses to a gig is probably too much, unless you're shooting all primes, which then God bless you, I guess. What I will say is, if you are a traveling photographer, videographer, if you're somebody that's bringing a lot of things, you're maybe even living out of this bag where you're running camera gear from this down and then clothes from this up and then the back. I could see that being a way to do this if you're just trying to be a one bag show. I could see how that would work, because you definitely can get 2-3 days worth of clothes in here if you're being smart and ranger rolling and kind of know what you're doing. I could see how that would work out. However, I don't think this bag is for everyone. I think I bought this bag at a stage in my career where I wasn't doing a lot of what I'm doing now. And I'm thankful for it now. I was not thankful for it when I was really starting out. I saw it as probably too big, too much. It felt cool to have a Peter McKinnon bag. I understand a lot of us, kind of grew in photography idolizing Peter. Great dude. I've met him. He's really fun to be around. Very energetic and intelligent. However, this bag was designed by him when he was traveling pretty much everywhere, vlogging and shooting content. So that's what it's designed for. It's a travel-focused bag, I think, or a really heavy gear amount bag. I think if you get to this point where you're filling this with gear from brim to brim and you're carrying it at 50, 60 pounds through airport security, there comes a point where you probably should consider looking at a Pelican, which is what I'm going to be doing next, potentially, in addition to whatever bag I buy next, which I'll reveal at the end of the video. Again, I think it gets to a point where you have to figure out what you can separate into a Pelican as your carry-on extra item, and this is your personal item, especially if you're carrying clothes, because it gives you more room for clothes. You can live out of those two things, and you probably totally find your gear's more protected with the Pelican, slightly. But yeah, I would think that would be the big con to me, is that this bag is big, and if you're not traveling, it becomes kind of it gives you almost permission to carry more gear than you need to. So, that being said, I think it's a wonderful bag. I think that Nomatic did a fantastic job. As somebody who's reviewing it post 4 years of wear and tear and post a failure in the bag, I think it's probably a safe bet if you're looking at things like Think Tank or any Low Pro, or you're looking at some of these other really big brands, like something like a Pro Tactic is typically what people will move to this, or would be considering against this, or whatever their newest version. I haven't bought a bag in 4 years, so I'll let that be known. I just know what a lot of my friends have complained about with their bags, and they run a lot of smaller, I think it's like the Brevity jumpers, and stuff like that, and they can get away with that. And that's what they use, and they like it. They don't like that it's back, or that it's front opening. So it opens from the other side of the pack. They worry about that a little bit in certain situations. But it is nice. I would say that for the price, it delivered bang for buck. I can't imagine paying this again and not getting a similar performance out of a bag. I think if I were to change brands, I would have in the back of my head of, is this going to last 3 or 4 years? Are they going to fulfill on the lifetime warranty? And for me, that's not a question, because I have this bag as a proof, and I have this as my new bag, and it may come as no surprise, but they do fulfill on their lifetime warranty, and I could have probably gotten this bag in warranty and sold it if I felt that this bag did not meet my needs, and probably not really worried about it too much. However, this bag I've run through the absolute ringer. This thing has been in a river. This thing has been in a glacier in Alaska. This thing has been not in the water part, in the ice part. This thing has been thrown around everywhere, and I at no point worried about it. And I think that peace of mind with something else, a different piece of gear, I think in part is due to the fabric that's on the back of this, and pretty much the entire thing. It just feels like Kevlar to me. It's like almost a bulletproof bag. Almost, it's not bulletproof. Don't try that. But to me, that confidence with something as expensive as my life, effectively, in a bag, makes me confident in knowing that this, I probably won't be talking to Nomatic again for 4 or 5 more years if I treat it the same way. And that to me, when you got to remember, I paid $350 or whatever it is now. It was in that range when I bought it. You're spending a lot of money. I've not only gotten this bag, the lifetime warranty, I will now have a second bag. So by extension, Junior will have lasted however long this one lasts on top of this. So we've got 4 years plus, technically still running. And you can't get that a lot of other places. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you, Nomatic. I appreciate that you guys have stood by your warranty. I know not every company does. I've been on the other end of that. I've seen people not get a warranty and how crushing that is and how that breaks people with other brands. And I know in my personal experience, I've had warranties that have not been honored, and that sucks. That's something that you're like, oh, shoot, like this was important. I wouldn't have tried to warranty if it wasn't. And I know that by them doing this, this is showing me that this bag will probably be what I'll run for the next, 4 or 5 years of my career. I'm not going to make this an unboxing video. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Screw it, So this, I will say, I don't get to keep both bags. Obviously, warranty, this is how this works. They want to know what happened. They might even fix this up and they give it as like a refurbished to somebody. Great. I hope its lifespan can be expanded. There's nothing really wrong other than the pull tab and the zipper. So hopefully they can fix it and somebody else can get great use out of it. This goes in this box when this gets pulled out. So let's just go ahead and do a unboxing real quick. I have scissors around here somewhere. And let's do this. Okay. So I have a pair of scissors here, and we're just going to go ahead and crack this bad boy open. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll go ahead and close those. Okay. Fun part now is that, as you can see, there is a 0 charge on this, which is wild. They paid, by the way, they paid for shipping. They paid. This is of no charge to me. So that's we're just gonna do this. There's a nice little zipper bag, and then it's been a minute since I unboxed something. And I buy pretty much everything I buy used these days, so, and look at that. Oh, it's so shiny. It's all new and shiny. Oh my gosh. My bag has been used so much, I forgot what this is supposed to look like. That's so clean. It's literally perfect. I'm gonna feel bad marking this one up now. Woo, the belt. Oh, I don't have this belt anymore. I forgot there's supposed to be a waist belt. So that's how heavy they expect you to pack this thing. Obviously, we'll do the little. I think I can probably just do this. This is the company, Nomatic, if you're wondering. I'll link what I bought below. It's not I don't think it's gonna be any kind of link that gives me any kickback, so feel free. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so yeah. Look at that, zippers that work. And voila. It's just, there's the straps. This is what it looks like when it comes to you. Yeah, there you go. It's so stiff and like, I will say, I genuinely forgot what this bag looked like brand new. So this is a lot of fun. Obviously, this is going to be the next 4 to 5 years of my life probably out of this bag and that Pelican. So I just want to say a really quick thank you to Nomatic. You guys rock. I'm with you for the rest of the line as far as until this bag fails, and then we'll talk then. So, yeah. I don't know how to end this video, but yeah. If you were wondering, that's how the bag works. Solid. Warranty works. So, have a great one, guys.